use a sponge. If you don't have sponges, you can use your fingers to blend in your concealer.
Do you have any tips for choosing the right color concealer?
You know, the best advice I can give for something like that is to go into the department store and go to the counter and have one of the girls help you, or girls or guys, have one of them help you and color match you. You can usually, from big department stores, if you're not too intimidated to go in there, they can give you samples to take home and try. And I would take a sample from the department store and go to the drugstore and color match that way. And I think that's a good, inexpensive way of doing it. Some of the department store brands are not as expensive as they appear to be either, which is kind of nice. There are some things out there that are in a very modest price point, I think, for what you get. So.
And only put it under the eyes?
You know, I put it where there's any discoloration, you know, whether it's under the eyes, around the nose where we have a lot of redness, you know, random outbreak or whatever. I don't use the concealer as a full foundation. I don't like the heavy feeling of a lot of stuff on the skin, which is also why I dust on a drier foundation too. But as far as concealer goes, mainly under the eyes and blend it out, and then blemishes or any other redness, just trying to even out skin tone. We're not covering everything up, just blending away.
Okay.
And I am using a powder and foundation that are mixed together, and I'm dusting it on with a big fluffy brush. Again, because I don't want to cover up the skin, I just want to even out the skin tone. And I always fade this down into the neck too, because you don't want that chin strap of the foundation there. It's not a good look.
Not a good look.
It's not a good look. Very 1986, 7th grade. Alright, so now we're going to move on to doing your basic eye. And I'm actually going to do a really simple, clean looking eye without worrying about getting too much into contouring. This is for someone who really just wants, you know, probably 5-10 minutes for makeup. So assuming that you have your foundation and your powder, concealer on. So I'm just using this is called Naked. It's by MAC. It's a loose pigment. And I just like it because it's a very natural skin tone, lighter skin tone color, and really easy to dust all over the eyelids. Also, I am actually using, you can find these at the drugstore. These are eyelid primers that have silica in them to help absorb excess oil, to keep your eyeshadow from sliding all over the place. So this is actually really important. It's a very important step for especially smoky eyes or something really dramatic, because this will help your eyeshadow show up a little more dramatic, and it will also give you a 12-hour wear. So when you're doing a smoky eye, like going back and messing with your makeup is not something you want to have to be worrying about.
Is this the same as the paint pot? The
Yes.
MAC paint pot that you had me get?
Exactly. This
Okay.
is the MAC
that's it.
paint pot. This
Okay.
is in soft ochre. You can apply this paint pot with your finger as well, directly from the paint pot. And you want to make sure that it is completely smooth all over the lid, and you do want to go from lash line all the way up to brow bone, because this whole area is your canvas that you're going to be putting your color on. So I think sometimes people are intimidated to go up above the eyelid, you know, or up where the crease is, for fear of it looking too makeup-y. And if you do this right and you blend your products out really well, it's not going to look like that. It's not going to be heavy looking. So you want to make sure you have to move kind of quickly when you have a paint pot on. If you let this dry, especially in a Colorado climate or somewhere that's really dry like it is here, you do need to move a little quickly, simply because we don't want this product to dry out. Your eyeshadow will get a little skippy. So I've dipped my brush in my loose pigment, and then I'm literally just going all over the lid wherever I put that paint pot. Always flick your brush off too. That way you don't get an excess of stuff down here.
Excess of stuff down where?
Down on your face.
Oh.
If you don't flick your brush off, you get a lot of particle fallout onto your face, and that's really important, especially when you're using darker colors or you go to do your smoky eye. It's really important to shake off your brush a little. Don't blow on your brushes. So we're going to use this flat, narrow brush because you can tuck your eyeliner right up against the lash line. That's really important. I think one of the things I do see women doing is missing, there's a gap between their eyeliner and their lash line, and you can see it. So this brush is actually really helpful and easy to tuck this right up into the lash line, and it's easy to do on yourself. So I'm going to use kind of a rich brown that has a lot of pigment, again, flicking your brush off, and with the brush matching the lash line, and I'm also picking this lid up to make the eyelid unfold, I guess, and I'm pressing and rocking just a little bit, and this just gives a really soft but defined line. Open your eyes and halfway over right there. Now you can do this on yourself too. You just lower your lid and come in and tuck this right up on the lash. This is a quick 5-minute face, like, you know, I don't know, going to the grocery store, you can go to work with this. This is not anything that you're going to feel underdressed with.
Yeah, you taught me this one for my book tour.
Yes.
And it is literally like 5-minute face.
Yeah.
And it would get me ready to go on TV.
Yeah, and it's so great too, because it's like just a couple of simple steps and you can still feel really polished without having to dedicate a full hour. You know, I mean, there are women who do the full hour to get ready. There's a time and a place for that, but when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I don't have time to fuss around. It's important to look in the mirror, step back, and take a look at yourself too as you apply your makeup to make sure that, you know, things are even, or that you're not getting too much color in one area and not enough in another. You want your lines don't have to be perfect, but somewhat symmetrical, as people will notice. Close again, my please. Thank you. I do make it a little thicker out towards the very ends, and then narrower as you get into the corner of the eye. So, okay, very nice. Super clean looking. Next, I'm taking your basic mascara and just gonna do a couple of coats.
What about curling eyelashes?
You know, you can do that if you want to. I don't always do that. The curlers, you can pull your eyelashes out. And if you can have someone sit down with you and teach you how to do it without crimping the eyelashes, awesome. Do it. It's just another step I don't have time for in the morning, so I don't do it. So.
Oh, I've never seen this before.
Yes, this is an easy way. You don't, I mean, I would apply this directly out of the tube, but this is just a really easy way to, you can kind of control how much you have on your brush. I do this if if I don't have my own mascara wand or whatever, I'll use this technique, and it's an easy way to get the mascara right down to the lash line. So I'm just going to pop your lid up. And when you do your mascara, make sure you coat the entire hair, not only on the bottom, but the top too. Again, you can't see the top of your lashes, but everybody else can.
I never do it on the top.
Really?
I never knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny. See, and I totally do it. And again, and I'm not adding eyebrows. I'm not going super crazy with a bunch of other makeup. I'm just keeping this as the eyes, as the focus, and the rest of the skin very nice and soft. Look up to the ceiling for me. Thank you. You just want to tickle the bottom lashes. You don't need to look like you have spider legs coming out of your eyes. No Tammy Faye. Very clean. Beautiful. I want to dig into my goodie bag. Also, I think it's important to comb. You know, while you don't have to necessarily fill your eyebrows in, I think it is important to groom them and to brush them up kind of into place when you've polished your face. Just gives a nice look. And
I never do that either.
I try not to walk up to people and fix their...
You can do that to me if I
will.
need it.
I will. I'll be the first to say something. Tell you if you have a bat in the cave, whatever. That's what real friends are for. So when I apply blush, I always have someone smile, and I go for I always tell them to fake smile. But it gets the front of the cheekbone up, or the apple of the cheek, and then you kind of follow that and fade most of the color in the apple, and then you kind of fade it back to the hairline.
And what color is this?
This is, I'm using a combination of, I think this is Gingerly from MAC, and I'm also using another one called Sculpt, and they're both matte. I try not to do anything also with a lot of shine or reflective quality to it. I don't care for the way it looks as much. I think the matte colors tend to be a little softer and more, just a nicer, softer, neutral look. So, beautiful. So now that we have the face done, with the eyes completed and the cheeks, we're just going to apply some really pretty soft pink gloss to finish up the look. It's from Sephora. It's a little $10 gloss. It's lasted me a very long time, and I love it because it's got a little bit of shine, no sparkle, and it's just really easy to apply without a brush. I am applying it with a brush because I have to.
What's the name? What's the color of this one?
You know, I actually don't know. It was in the little, there's a whole section of Sephora specific makeup, and I just went through and grabbed a couple of glosses. So I'm not sure. I just try to go with stuff that has they're very, very sheer. I just want a hint of color without this being too much. So yeah, you're all finished.
Thank you.
You're welcome.